Good day, everyone. This is Finally Needles, and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Dracula.
Hey now, everybody. How's it going?
Hello there, Drac. How is the weather over there in Barovia? Has it warmed up yet?
Too much.
Too much. They can't get the thermostat right.
No, I told you. We discussed this a couple episodes ago. Mother Nature is very fickle. She can't make up her mind. I wish she would get over whatever she's got going on and make up her mind.
Maybe she doesn't like vampires.
Very well could be.
Well, that's always a possibility. Let's go and see what the news is this week for DDO. And it looks like they have posted a little update called The Masterminds of Sharn.
Yeah, just teeny little update. Not much to talk about. We can just move on, right?
Right.
Just kidding. Yeah, the new expansion is out. Exciting that we get a new expansion after all of these years. Let's see, Ravenloft was what, 2 years ago now? 3 years, 2 years, something like that.
Maybe 2.5.
Yeah, so pretty exciting news. Masterminds of Sharn is here, also known as Update 42. If you would like to get technical on that, I was waiting for you to do that. Was released on Tuesday, May the 14th. Discover the mysteries of Sharn. Explore one of the most iconic locations in Dungeons and Dragons Eberron campaign setting. You will navigate the power struggles between the rich and the powerful as you hunt from the highest towers of the city to the deepest depths of the cogs. Of course, if you want to learn more, head over to ddo.com/Sharn for all of that. Players will begin their journey to Sharn through a transport NPC in the harbor of Stormreach, or if you bought the Ultimate Edition, you can use the boarding pass that is available in the Ultimate Edition of the Masterminds of Sharn expansion. Or you can just go on your ship and get a transport there, which people are a little salty about on the forums right now.
A little
salty.
A little bit of salty. Well, of course, you always get a little salty when you're on a ship, right? Oh, yeah, except this is an airship.
Well, true. Yeah. Little salt going on in the forums right now. But yes. Anyway, besides that, Sharn does include 9 story dungeons, 8 explorer dungeons. Those are down in the cogs, 1 explorer area, and 2 raids. But note, there is only 1 raid available now. Second one will be released a little bit later this year. That's exactly what they did with Ravenloft as well. Besides Sharn, there are some patch notes, so we'll go ahead and talk about these. I can't remember, did we talk about any of these patch notes when this was on Lamania? I think we kind of briefly did, maybe?
We might have done some brief, I think 1 or 2 maybe, but I don't think we went through them all that much.
Yeah, I didn't.
We've forgotten, yes.
Think we did. Yeah, it's been a while, so we'll just go ahead and cover these. You can go over to the link in the show notes to see the full patch notes, but we'll just kind of briefly go over a few of these. The Favorite Soul bonus feats now have clearer and more concise wording. Some animation issues for the male and female tieflings have now been corrected. Non-scoundrel tieflings no longer innately will use fiddles for bard songs. Only a scoundrel can do that.
Oh, well. They're saying that means in order to be a fiddle player, you have to be a bit of a scoundrel.
Tieflings. Just going to move right on. Tiefling and scoundrel players are now properly immune to fear. Tieflings, both male and female, now have a second dance. Yay for the second dance. Tieflings now have their own taunt animations. Come at me, bro. No, I don't know. I haven't looked at it yet. Tieflings now have their own lap emote. Okay. See, now I want to get on my tiefling and see what this taunt animation is and the lap emote is. And also the second dance.
Yeah. I keep on forgetting that DDO has emotes. I use them reasonably well in Lotro, but I rarely use them in DDO.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't use them all that much in DDO either, really. But this is kind of interesting. There's a new item in the DDO store. This is called the Call of Destiny Elixir. These potions are going to allow a character to earn experience in one epic destiny while another is active for up to 3 hours per potion. Note, with this, you have to have unlocked the appropriate epic destiny before you will gain experience in it. The redeemed item can be used to select which epic destiny the potion should apply to. These available in the DDO store under the Epic Destiny Tools category. So yes, what this means in a nutshell is when you're doing your epic experience and you're in one of your destinies, while you're earning XP in that destiny, you can also select another destiny and earn XP in it too.
Ooh.
So this is going to be a boon to people that TR a lot and want to get through all of those epic destinies that you have to get through to get all of your good feats. So far, people have been okay with this ish on the forums. I kind of thought this was going to be like the big thing. People were going to be screaming pay to win.
No, they're complaining about the passport.
yeah, gonna say that. So I think the big salt so far is you can get to Sharn on your airship. I really thought this Call of Destiny was going to be the big thing, but I mean, this is kind of cool. I don't have a problem with this. I haven't done a lot with any of the Epic Destinies and stuff. I'm just now doing it. I'm going to really get into it and dig into it for the first time over on Wayfinder, actually, in that static group I have. We're really going to be doing a lot of stuff with Epic Destinies and those trees. This is going to come in handy. I think I forgot to log in and look to see how much these cost. If they're like stupid expensive, I probably won't get one. But if they're not bad, I might get one just to like play around with it and see how they work out, and maybe I'll report back. Also, in our patch notes, we have a little work to the Druid's Savage Roar. It's now going to correctly apply its saving throw when 3 stacks of Maul are active. That is very precise. Savage Roar now correctly uses the highest of your either Wisdom or Strength to calculate its DC. The Druid Tier 1 Force of Nature in Tier 5 Nature's Protector will now grant the following in addition to its current effect. Your attunement to nature is emboldened. Your Druidic Oath is no longer broken by wearing metal armor or shields.
Wee.
There you go. See, on your Druid, you can now wear metal armor if you'd like, Pineleaf.
Well, first off, you have to get the proficiency for wearing the metal armor.
Well, true. There is that
a fighter or a cleric or something like that.
There's that small little fact, but yeah, that's kind of cool actually. Tiefling's innate fire resistance and their infernal resistance enchantment now properly update their values when you level it up without needing to relog. Reaper, they got a little Reaper work on the Reaper enhancements. Reaper imbuement now gives the listed amount of fortification bypass, and Reaper's steadfastness now gives the listed amount of fortification. And then we briefly talked about the filigrees before, but with Sharn, there is a new generation of filigree that has been introduced. These are found in Sharn and content to be released after Sharn. These entirely new sets offer exciting ways to customize your minor artifact and your sentient weapon. Older filigrees will continue to drop where they did before, but once again, if you want these new ones, you got to go to Sharn and run Sharn for that. And then there is the minor artifact that is available now. I know we talked about this in the interview I did with Seb, and we kind of briefly touched on it after that. But minor artifacts are powerful items that will go into normal equipment slots, and you can have filigrees slotted into it. Each minor artifact can only be equipped into a specific equipment slot. Characters may only equip a single minor artifact regardless of the slot. Minor artifacts can be placed into the sentient weapon UI, and they can consume named items just like a sentient weapon. That's so you'll be able to level them up with that XP. This is higher level stuff, like end game basically. So I haven't messed with this yet, nor will I for a long time because I don't have anybody that high. But I know a lot of people were excited about the new filigrees and the new minor artifacts that they're coming out with.
If you
So,
really, people really get excited, I presume, if they ever have a major artifact.
yeah, maybe that's coming next. Who knows?
Yeah,
And
who knows? Yes.
also got some quest work as well. The Solve of Stone to Flesh in the Eyes of Stone quest now has a cooldown of 5 seconds instead of 30 seconds.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, exactly. This was the funniest patch note. There always has to be one little patch note that has a little joke in it.
Right.
This is our one for Sharn. They nudged a pair of hobgoblins in the quest, the Caverns of Saga, I don't know how you pronounce that, whatever, to help them not to become one with the stairs.
You can become one with the stairs. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, the caverns of Sharn.
Yeah, that too. This is another little thing that some people are a little salty about. Other people's are cheering this. Sealed in amber, Madame Ava no longer can be found at the quest entrance, and her objective and dialogue have been altered.
Yes, this of course has to do with how Sealed of Amber became the
Exploit
default dungeon for Reaper and all.
exploit. Copy. Yeah, well, technically it wasn't an exploit, but
technically
it was not working as intended.
Yeah.
And people were using it to farm Reaper XP ad nauseum and other things.
Right.
And see, then again, I've said it before, I'll say it again, Pine Leaf. This is why we can't have nice things.
Yes.
Also in Sealed and Amber, the number of enemies have been reduced.
Well, that's because they had increased the number of enemies in Sealed of Amber because hoping to discourage people from doing it Reaper exclusively on there.
Right.
So
yeah.
So now I think the reduction is probably back to its normal levels.
Yeah, I'll actually have to run it and see because I want to see how they changed it. Because I always kind of enjoyed that quest.
Oh, but maybe they reduced the number of those stupid.
Oh, flaming skulls! Hopefully, those things sucked. Also, in our patch notes, the obscuring mist darkness effect now has been fixed. Fireballs and the domain fireballs spell descriptions have been updated. Spawn screen no longer scales its number of targets based on the caster level and instead will affect all allies in the area of effect. Wail of the Banshee now has its signature wail sound effect back. That's amazing because if you're going to do Wail of the Banshee, you have to have a Banshee wail. I mean, come on.
Yeah, okay, I will grant you that.
And then there was a few other little miscellaneous things to round out our Sharn patch notes. Shield Guardian hirelings, words are hard, have updated sounds.
I haven't even heard the sound. I guess I'll never know what the original sounds were.
I never really paid attention. I played around with Shield Guardian, and I never really paid attention to what sound he makes. So, The engine will no longer limit video/virtual memory usage as harshly on systems which have sufficient virtual memory. The game should properly take advantage of virtual memory resources available to it, i.e., it should run better. If your system has the RAM and you have a BP system, so yeah. And
but it's only a 32-bit.
Well, true. Hopefully, since Lotro's getting 64-bit, we shall also get 64, but we'll see.
I have a feeling that first I want to see how it works with Lotro.
True. Touche. The character sheet UI now uses abbreviated class names and has moved all 4 class fields into the same line. I did notice that when I logged in last night, and I was like, what's weird about this? And I'm like, oh, I see. I kind of like that. They also, in the character sheet UI, it now displays your offhand double strike underneath double strike, which makes sense. And work has also been done to eliminate various sources of server performance issues, also known as the dreaded lag monster.
We'll see how many lag monsters we can slay and we find out from the users how many they missed.
Exactly. And I'm sure people will really tell them as well.
Yeah, they
So let's
just
look at our Sharn patch notes.
yeah, but it looks like that there is a known issue about the Epic Story Dungeon Saga.
Yes, the epic Sharn Story Dungeons saga is not currently able to be completed before a character is at least level 28. They do intend to correct this issue as soon as they can, and I know they are working on a patch. We were supposed to have a hot fix on Wednesday. That got canceled and got moved to Thursday. That one got canceled as well, but there is no scheduled downtime for the next hotfix. But I know they are working on a hotfix to fix that and a couple of issues they have with the raid and some other various things. So I'm
I,
assuming if
I
we
thought there,
don't
I thought there
get,
was a hot fix on Wednesday for that was more limited than this, and that this didn't make it into it.
I think the whole hotfix got canceled, I
Oh, because
thought.
I remembered patching on Wednesday.
Let me look. Hold that thought and let me look real quick. See what it says. Downtime notice, Wednesday, May 15th. Apparently, you are correct. I'm just looking to see if it said it was canceled. I thought the one on Wednesday got canceled. Apparently, it was just the one on Thursday that got canceled.
Okay,
You
but
must be correct because I don't see anything in the thread about it getting canceled. So yeah, Cordovan did say that the hotfix on Wednesday addressed an issue with access to Masterminds of Sharn. The COG Saga NPC does remain unavailable, but they intend to correct that soon.
that means that we should run the main story first, so that we could give them time to fix that.
Yep, exactly. So you are correct. I thought I read somewhere that the Wednesday one got canceled too, but no, the Wednesday one did go on as planned. The Thursday one to fix the raid issues and the saga was pushed back. No ETA on that. No downtime scheduled. As of our record at 7:18 p.m. on Thursday evening.
Which means that they will post the announcement at 7:19.
Probably, or they'll wait until the show releases tomorrow and they'll go, oh, by the way, we're going to have downtime. Probably. That's just our luck. That's how it works. Thanks, SSG. Thanks.
Oh well, you can't have everything.
That's true.
Then let's go and see, or we should say, listen to the soundtrack to the Masterminds of Sharn.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are raving about this. I have not actually ran anything in Sharn yet, so I'm excited to hear the soundtrack. But if you want to hear it beforehand, or you just want to listen to it maybe while you're working or doing anything else, Cordovan did post that it's available up on the YouTube page for Dungeons & Dragons Online, and I'll put a note in the show notes so you can go over on YouTube and listen to the soundtrack. I know so far everybody has given it big thumbs up. They love the soundtrack. So
Is this one of Darth Celtics?
I don't know. I will be honest and tell you I know nothing about the soundtrack. I said haven't heard one lick of it at all.
Well, I did visit the. Well, I didn't go into any of the dungeons, but I did pop over to the place where you start, so I would be ready to start as soon as
Oh, okay.
we're ready. And I could, of course, as I'm looking out over in the public area, hear the soundtrack part of the soundtrack, obviously, not the whole thing, in the background, and it sounds like a more orchestral sound I'm used to hearing in DDO.
That's interesting.
Let's see. It's a. I guess because maybe Sharn is maybe it's because it's this big sophisticated city that they thought that's what will fit Sharn.
That could be. I don't know. I'm excited to hear it. I think I'm gonna wait and save it to experience in game for the first time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then I'll go back and listen to it as I'm cleaning or something or whatever, which I usually have some sort of music playing when I'm doing stuff around the house or whatever. It's not always game soundtracks, but a lot of the times it is. I've been known to throw on like the Ravenloft soundtrack or the Dungeons and Dragons online soundtrack just in general. So maybe I'll throw Sharn on this weekend as I'm doing stuff. Maybe we'll see.
All right then. Then let's head into the DDO Chronicle issue 333. 333.
And guess what?
Yeah.
We have Sharn on the cover.
Oh, what a shot.
I know. Shot right. You had no idea it was going to be Sharn this week, did you?
Now, here's my. I noticed that we have what looks like palm trees there. I know Rizia is a pretty cool place, but I'm so used to seeing it looks like a storm reaches a tropical place. It looks like Sharn might be at least semi-tropical, but does Eberron mainly highlight its warmer areas?
Yeah. I mean, most of Eberron is warmish. I mean, there's some parts of Eberron that are not tropical or jungle or anything like that. But yeah, that was like the first thing I noticed on this. I'm like, there's palm trees-ish there. Interesting. I'm just trying to think back in the books if it specifically said like what the climate of Sharn was. I can't. I'd have to break out my like Sharn books to tell you for sure because I really can't remember. I mean, all I can remember about Sharn is there was the towers and then there was the cogs. That's the two things that stick out about when I played it in pen and paper. So I can't remember very much what the weather was like. But apparently in DDO at least, it's tropical.
It's
Ish.
tropical.
Ish.
Ish.
Tropical-ish. We'll go with that. Elsewhere in our chronicle, Axel streamed Sharn, so he has a Sharn welcome. Click over to see him run through the Sharn content for the first time. Shepard also took a quick tour of the city of Sharn, so you can click over to see his video on it as well. And Ravenloft is still around, folks. You can still experience the Mist of Ravenloft. DDO Central was doing some guest articles over on Sip's BioBreak blog. Again, words are hard. And he wrapped up his look at the Mist of Ravenloft. So check over and read that. Fansite news section, Damsels of DDO heading into the House of Cannith. Click over and watch them run some of those quests. The DDO Players news, whoever those guys are, they are preparing for Sharn. You can click to hear their latest episode. Hey, that's us.
Oh, wow.
That's
How
us.
about that?
DDO Cast is discussing alts and past lives. Click over to hear guest Cordovan and Shy. Cordovan is the one that actually did that because Patrick could not do the show. So Cordovan guest hosted back in the old reigns of DDO Cast. It probably felt good for Cordovan to take that over yet again. DDO PL brings a Polish language stream to DDO Stream every Tuesday. We always talk about those guys. Like I said, can't understand a word they're saying, but man, they're enjoyable to watch. Click over and check them out. Even heads into the Inferno of the Damned. That's in her recent stream. Alex and Lynn are playing DDO every Sunday afternoon over on Twitch. Click to check them out. And don't forget, Samus Garobo is following the noob this week. He followed the noob into Sharn. Click over and watch that show. We got a chronicle comment this week, as always.
Yeah.
You are standing in front of an angry beholder. All that you have with you is a small rock. What do you do?
All right, let me parse this. I'm standing in front of an angry beholder, and all I have is a small rock.
Mm-hmm.
And
What are you going to do?
What am I going to do? Well, there is only one thing that I can do. Run!
Yeah, exactly. Run and hope you don't get hit with the disintegrate. That's pretty much what you're going to do.
Well, what I do is chuck the rock in its direction, then run. That way, hopefully its eyes automatically try to disintegrate the rock and miss me.
Okay. All right. There you go. Okay. That works. And then, of course, don't forget we have our screenshot of the week, and that is Clubber Lang wonders if the Wisp inhabit the larders of Castle Ravenloft in the 415th DDO screenshot of the week. And that is from Claver for sending that screenshot in. That's a pretty cool screenshot. And again, I'm going to go out on a limb. Next week's screenshot, going to be Sharn related.
Ooh, probably. Assuming
Just
that
throwing that out there.
there's any good ones.
Oh, I'm sure there will be.
You're sure there will be.
Sure, that was the first thing people were doing is they were like, oh, screenshot, screenshot, screenshot.
Screenshot.
Oh, look at that screenshot.
Let's then head into our sales.
We have some pretty good sales. It's the Hack and Stash sale. 20% off Slayer Boost, Loot Boost, Treasure Hunters Elixirs, and Select Shared Storage. That is running through May the 23rd. Don't forget about our DDO bonus days. That's bringing you a Strength in Numbers weekend. You're going to get a +5 XP bonus for every member of your party other than yourself through May 19th. So soak up the sweet, sweet XPs. And the weekly coupon going to get you a free Lesser Restoration Potion. 5 of those potions. Coupon code RESTORE now through the 23rd.
Now let's then head into our site news where, it looks like Drexel shortened funds.
Yeah. You know, I never wanted to do this. I always told myself I would never do this. And here I am doing this. Yeah, you know, we, as listeners of the podcast, readers of the site, you know, we started out a DDO-centric podcast. Then we kind of started branching into Dungeons and Dragons tabletop. And then we kind of snuck in other RPGs. And then we kind of snuck in the tabletop. And now we're like this cool, weird hybrid thing where, you know, the first half of the show, we talk about DDO. And then we go into the dungeon, which is our RPG news. Then we go on the tabletop, which is our tabletop news. And then we talk about video games and movies and geek stuff on the screen. So we kind of have all this that we do. And as part of this, we go to conventions, mainly the Origins Game Fair and Gen Con, and we cover those. Now, I get my passes to the show for free as I get a press media badge. So I do get into there for free, but everything else I have to pay for. So I have to pay for transportation to get there, which luckily Origins is like 5 hours away from me, and Gen Con is like, say, 2.5, 3. So I drive there, so it's not like I have to buy, you know, a plane ticket or whatever. So I have gas. Then, of course, I have to pay to park. I have to pay for hotels. I have to pay for food and, you know, all of that. And I do that out of my own money. I mean, I don't spend any of the money that we get for the site. We do have a patron for the site that is used for to keep the site running, to pay our hosting, to pay our Mixler fee, because we have to pay so we can broadcast more than an hour a week on Mixler, because we have 2 shows. We used to have 3, but now we only have 2. So there's a lot of cost involved with running the Players Alliance, DDO Players, and the Litra Players. That's where we get our patron money from. But the Gen Con and Origins coverage and other conventions we go to, sometimes we go to Winter Fantasy and some other things. That's all comes out of my budget. And my budget is really tight right now. It's tighter than it used to be because I moved and I have higher rent, and it's, you know, all of the, as I said in the article I posted on this and over on the GoFundMe, basically the adulting part of life, it's just like, it's a lot. So I decided, a couple of people had said, hey, why don't you do like a Kickstarter or like a GoFundMe or something, and just see. So I thought, all right, I'll do this. I hate to do this. I hate to ask people, hey, could you give me some money? Do you want to support us and do this? I hate doing that. I hate even talking about our Patreon, to be honest with you, because I just don't like asking people for money, and I don't really like asking for help. But it's expensive to do all of this, you like Gen Con and Origins coverage. I mean, I love doing it. I love, you know, getting there, being at the convention, talking to all the things, shooting all the videos, and then bringing them home, editing the videos, you know, releasing them. Don't get me wrong, I love it. It's work, but it's fun work. It's fun because, you know, I get to hang out with some people in the tabletop, community. And then, when I'm in the press room, a lot of the times I'll see people from like other sites and stuff. And I kind of have a friendship with a lot of them just because, we kind of all do the same thing. We cover the tabletop gaming industry. But like I said, this is expensive. It cost a lot to do this. And I'm like getting tapped out, and I want to continue to do these coverage on the site and the podcast because I love doing it, and these conventions graciously allow me to do it with a press media badge, but it's just expensive. So I'm saying, hey, go over, and if you enjoy what we do, go ahead and throw us whatever. I put like a $600 goal for it because that should be able to help for Origins and Gen Con with the money I had saved up. So if you would like to donate, cool. I mean, you don't have to. It's not like I'm still going to do this somehow. I'll figure out how to do it. It's just it would ease the burden on me if if anybody would like to help. Which we actually have one person that did help, and I want to give a shout out to Fear Spread. He donated, so thank you very much for that. He was our first one to donate, so that was exciting. So thanks to Fear Spread for that. But yeah, that's it. I said I hate doing this. It sucks. There you go. And also, there's an article on the site about it, and I'll probably put a little thing, probably under our Gen Con countdown near our Skull Splitter Dice logo, somewhere around in there. I'll put a little thing that says GoFundMe, and you can click there if you don't want to go to the article. But anyway, in advance, thank you. Like I said, if you don't want to, you don't have to. Just thank you. I hate doing this. I really do.
All right. Now, back to something we mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering about climate and stuff like that onto it.
Yes.
All right. Okay. It
Yes.
looks like Storm Reach is smack on top of the equator. No wonder that has a warm one. And I would say Sharn is getting near the edge of the tropics, I would say.
Okay, yeah.
I'd say equivalent to around Puerto Rico or someplace like that.
Okay, yeah, I was going to grab my book. I see it. It's right on my shelf over there. I see my 2 Sharn books right there.
Yeah.
And I was just, be honest, I was too lazy to get up and go over and grab them to look that up. So I'm glad you had some Google food going in your corner, and you found that out for us.
Now, it does explain, though, why we take a ship in order to get the Sharn, seeing how you've got this, I guess it's a strait that's in between Corvair and Xendrix.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that takes care of that. So let's see what's on the screen. Where, all right, was it 1 or 2 weeks ago we had you do that unboxing for Stranger Things? They have an upside down Lego set?
We do. This is exciting. This is uber geeky, but it's sweet. Yes, if you're a fan of Stranger Things, you know all about what the upside down is. I would say spoiler, but come on. Everybody knows. I would think even if you don't even watch Stranger Things, you've heard of the upside down and know what the upside down is. But now there's going to be an upside down Lego set. So what this is this is a Lego set of the house, and you get both versions. You're going to get the regular version of the house, and then you're going to get the upside down version. How freaking cool is this? And this is a huge set too.
Now, I could just think that a comic writer, I know, let's see, David Morgan, something like this. Anyway, he has a comic strip called The Irregular Comics, and I'm just imagine I'm going to see he uses Legos for this. I just can imagine at some point in the near future we're going to see something featuring Demogorgon.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure. Yeah, because there is a sweet Demogorgon logo in this, Lego in this set, excuse me. Yeah, this is a 2,287 piece set. So I said it does feature the buyer's household in its mirrored version as well. There's also Jim Hooper's police truck as well. Plus there are lots of characters. You get all the voice and the Demogorgon. The Demogorgon Lego is amazing. The set is available now if you're a member of the free-to-join Lego VIP program. You can purchase it over on Lego's site. Or if not, you want to wait a little bit, On June 1st, you can pick it up via the Lego store for the low, low price of $199.99. Yeah, you heard me right. $200 for this
For
set.
a Lego set.
For a Lego set.
Okay, maybe we won't be seeing David Gorgon pop up on that.
Yeah. But this is freaking sweet. But man, $200. I don't know. It's a bit much, but it's awesome just for the Demigorgon Lego alone. Amazing. And the course new season, the third season of Stranger Things, going to be on Netflix on July 4th, so not too long to wait. But yes, you too can jump into the Upside Down via Legos at least. And Ninth Pond, I know we usually talk about this at the end of the show, but I'll just throw it in now since we're talking about this. He commented on this article and he said, I hope this means that there will be a Lego Stranger Things PC game coming. I would definitely play that. Heck yeah. Because all of the Lego games have been amazing so far, but a Stranger Things one, no brainer, that would be amazing. I hope they do that. That would be awesome.
And now let's go and look at our week in game. And Drac, what were you up to?
Well, then again, not a lot.
Well, it's only been 4 days.
Yeah, well, that's true. See, then again, you're getting a bonus episode this week. Look at it this way. We've done 2 podcasts for you in 1 week. Technically. Technically, it's because we did the other one on Sunday, so Thursday. Yeah, it's 2 in a week. So.
But the one before was a little late.
Well, see, when you put it that way, Pine Leaf, I mean, when I say it, it sounds like, oh, we're working hard for the people. We're giving them 2 podcasts a week. And you're like, oh, no, the other one was late. That's why we only had to do it. CIR? Jeez.
I know.
Man. But no, game-wise this week, so didn't do a lot. My life is still kind of, well, we won't discuss that. Anyway, I did play some DDO with you. I'll just go ahead and let you talk about that. And then after we got done playing, I decided I was going to go ahead and create my level 15. That is the Warlock, my Tiefling Warlock. I'm going to do for the show that we're going to do. We're going to run through Sharn.
Okay, but that's only a level 14 Warlock, I would guess, because you have that one level.
Oh, well, okay, technically, yeah, it's 14. Because, yes, I decided to do the iconic. I did the Tiefling Scoundrel. I did not stick with the Bard, though, as I've never played a Bard ever. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, nah, that just doesn't sound like it's going to be fun. So I created that. I kept the 1 level of the Bard since it was an iconic and I had to take the 1 level of the Bard. So I am a Bard 1, Warlock 14, and the rest of my levels are going to go into Warlock. Of course, I'm a Tiefling. One guess on which pack I took. Nobody's going to be shocked.
Yeah. Well, let me see. Well, obviously, it had to have been Faye.
Oh, see, that was going to be the surprise. Yes, I'm a Fey Warlock. No.
Of
course I'm not a Fey. No, I'm a Fiend. I know everybody's shocked. I know everybody's like, what?
I would have thought you would try to avoid being typecast.
Exactly. Yeah, well, my love of the Tiefling, I had to stay pure. Well, pure is kind of a funny word to use with a Tiefling, but you know what I'm saying. So yeah, this will be fun, but this is going to be on my Twitch channel. We're going to broadcast it live, and then I'm going to put it over to my YouTube. And this is going to be Pine Leaf and I running through Sharn. And we decided to call it Heaven and Hell because we thought it would be funny because I'm, of course, the Tiefling. And, of course, Pine Leaf had the bright idea to create an ASMR to balance out my Tiefling. So that's why it's Heaven and Hell. So it's going to be Sharn, Heaven and Hell, and that's going to be Monday is going to be the first episode as we're going to start going through Sharn.
Whee!
And then elsewhere, played on Wayfinder a little bit. Of course, that was with Tay, Rent, and Lessa. We did Reaver's Refuge. We are going to do the Stealer of Souls. So, in order to do that, you have to do the Essence of a Dragon quest. You have to go into all 3 of the Explorer zones out there and get some gems. So we just ran those over and over until all 3 of us had the gems that we needed. So now we all have that. We have everything else done. So we're ready to go unlock the Stealer Souls quest and then do that. I've actually never done that quest, so I'm going to be super jazzed about doing it and excited to do that with those guys. So we will do that hopefully soonish. But now we're kind of kicking around the idea, since Sharn is out, we want to run through Sharn. So now we're kicking the idea around of creating some iconics to go through Sharn. So we'll see what we do over on Wayfinder. You never know with that group. We kind of just go and do what we feel like in the moment. So it might be our level 20s, might be Sharn and iconics. Who knows? So we'll see. So what about you, Pine Leaf? What were you up to?
First off, with what I did with you and in DDO, we first decided to try Haywire Foundry because I did not realize how much you hated it, and I figured, well, maybe it wasn't as bad as I remembered, and
That's one of those quests. I always forget how much I dislike that quest until I'm doing it, and then I'm like, God, why did I say that we'd run this quest?
yes.
It's not like it's difficult. It's just stupid.
Well,
And
especially the
it's
end.
like the end is confusing and it's stupid, and I always run the wrong way. We got separated. I just now it's not like Crucible level hate, because at this point my hatred of the Crucible is, I would say, legendary status at this point.
Okay.
But this, is kind of up there with Cold Chamber.
Now,
That's kind of my
yeah.
hatred for this quest.
Now, what happened in this is I came to the drawbridge before it came down, and I was, of course, being chased by about 7,000 mobs at the time. That's only a slight exaggeration. And so I thought, oh, I'm supposed to jump past the bridge. No, you're not supposed to jump past the bridge. You're supposed to wait for the bridge to come down. Then you cross over the bridge. Then you find the NPC and talk to him.
Yeah, because actually, what you're supposed to do is you run to that bridge, and as soon as the whole party's at that bridge, then it lowers, and then you can finish the quest.
But
Well,
because we got separated,
problem was we got separated. I totally went the wrong way, and then by the time I figured out I was the wrong way, it was too late. I couldn't get over to where you were, and yeah, it's just
right.
it sucks. I hate that quest.
Yes, and Drac for some reason had thought that, well, don't worry, you still get credit for the quest if you. No, you don't get credit.
Yeah, no, you don't. I forgot about that little small minor detail.
Yeah, you have to talk to the NPC at the end, or you don't get credit. Those little, nothing worse than a dungeon where you do all the work and it's just failing to talk to one NPC
Yeah,
that kills
exactly.
it. It's like what happened to me the last time I did Sealed in Amber, and there was a side quest, and I did the stuff I needed to do for the side quest and found the person, all that stuff, and I saw a nice, glorious bantering go rounding all this, and I didn't realize, oh yeah, you're supposed to go back and talk to someone before you get credit for it. So I go back. So I forget to do that, and the NPC says, "What? Oh, I'm sorry, you couldn't help me." Ah, yeah. So yeah, well, if that was bad, this is worse. And then of course, and at least with Sealed and Amber, it was a optional where that happened to be on rather than the main quest. Then of course, in the other thing that we did was the Keeper's Sanctuary, which thankfully was a lot easier to finish.
Yeah, I love that quest. That's one of those quests that I run it sometimes I don't, but I do enjoy that quest. That's a fun quest to run. And we got a pretty good chunk of XP for running that too.
Yes, which is fortunate, seeing that we got
exactly. Yeah.
we got maybe a little bit of optional XP from Haywire Foundry, but we certainly didn't get the.
At least we got some XP that night during our play, so there is that.
Then in tabletop, I decided to try out an Aeon's End campaign, Now, the official campaign expedition campaign rules are not yet out and all that stuff because that won't be out until the release of Aeon's End when that comes out. So when Aeon's End New Age is where the expedition rules are being released. So I'm playing this under a set of draft rules for them and seeing how well I could do. I ran through the first two battles against Rageborn and the Prince of Gluttons, and I'm running this single mage, but with 4 cards, using which is the rule under New Age, and so that makes it a little bit easier. So I did manage to win both games. I do have to find out what the sweet spot is for challenge at some point, so that when I want to challenge, because when you do it, the trouble with a single mage is if you do it with only 3 cards per round, where the player has only 3 turns per round, it's really hard. And if you do it with 4 player turns per round, it tends to be gets a bit easy on the easy side. So I think at some point after I finish this campaign, I'm going to see if I could set things at what they call 3.5, where on one round you'd have 3 turns, the next round you have 4 turns, back and forth, and some people think that that might be where the sweet spot is. So I'll have to experiment with that in the near future. But I managed to get through the first 2 battles of the campaign, and there are 2 more of those nameless I need to face. I know you'd say, well, wait, if they're called nameless, then why do I have names for them? Well, is that
Because you're Pine Leap, that's why.
because I'm fine? Well, that's the way things go. We currently have 19 supporters on Patreon, and if you'd like to help support DDO Players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including a mention on the podcast of your choice, or even be guest with us for an episode of DDO Players News. And the only featured comment we have this week, I believe you already mentioned, right?
I did.
And we have new emails, but if you'd like to send us one, you can send it to podcast at ddoplayers.com. And you can also follow us on Twitter at the Players Alliance at Players Ally, DDO Players at DDO Players, Dracula at Dracula_72, and Pineleaf at Pineleaf Needles. And you can follow Twitch on, and you can follow Drac on Twitch at Draculetta_72.
And that will be, as I said again, we are going to start the new Sharn Heaven and Hell show Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Let's hope no one life doesn't throw you a curveball on Monday night.
Hope not.
Hope
The
not.
plan is to start it on Monday night, so we'll see how well that goes.
The Players Alliance has 2 shows on Thursdays at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. We have DDO Players News, and on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Locha Players News. Each of us for our shows at ddoplayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight. And this is Piney Mules reminding you to quest responsibly.